Cut the line rugby, we are going to the World Cup final. Believe it. Believe that. Understand that. How do you feel?
Just putting up the F for the final.
F for the final.
F for the final, because that's where we're going.
How does it feel?
It feels finalistic. It feels fantastic. It feels final and decisive. Extraordinary, because after a short tenure, us has taken us there.
Short tenure, yeah, that's what I was going to say. I mean, 2 years ago, if somebody told you we're going to the World Cup final, after that tour, the tour we went on when we lost that first match, was it to Wales or Ireland? We landed in Ireland, cleaned us. They cleaned us up quickly. Then we played the Barbarians, I think we won a match, and then we finished off that tour against Wales. Then? None of those, Alistair's last tour.
Oh, yeah.
Finished off that tour against Wales when Khalan played wing. And they exposed us for tries. Hadley Park scored, and they were looking we were like, these guys are not the best players in the world, and we just proved it. So Wales, commiserations.
Just proved it.
Just did. I mean, that was a team hurting the depth.
I just think even if it was different circumstances, we would have smoked them up as well. I just think the fact that game was that semi-final made it like a SIF game, and like we knew that if we played SIF, it's a guarantee. Like, we're gonna beat you. But if it was in a different scenario, I think we're so much of a better team that I think we'll smoke them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, and hey, we deserved to in the end, but we took it right to the edge.
It's not through.
But I think, I mean, there's been plenty of criticism about game plan. I think the game plan was spot on. I loved it from the beginning.
Well, if it's spot on if you are looking to win, not spot on if you're looking to enjoy rugby.
If you're trying to introduce somebody to the game of rugby, that's not the game you want to show.
That's what I'm saying. That's what people are having a problem with.
Yeah.
It's fair gripes, but at the same time, what do you want? Do you want to play KIF and be out the World Cup, or do you want to win the World Cup?
Yeah.
We're here to win.
So and,
like going into this World Cup, let's not get it twisted. Not the best team, but we many World Cups. There's never been a World Cup where we've gone to where we're the best team. Nobody goes to it as the best team but New Zealand. So everybody else has got to find a way to win this cup.
2007?
England were very good.
They were good.
They were probably the best team. That was probably the only time. But
New Zealand were good that year.
Exactly.
They got knocked out by France with that first.
That's what I'm saying. But if you were to put your life, they put a gun to your head and said, choose a team that will go all the way for you for your life, who are you choosing?
South Africa, mate.
Not now, obviously, no.
A patriot to the death. No, it's amazing that we're in the final, and all congratulations to Rassie Mzwandile and everybody else who's involved in the coaching staff, especially as well Jacques Nienaber, who's clearly at the heart of this game plan, who came back with Rassie. Apparently he served with Rassie in the army, which is, something I have to look into that. I didn't know that. But they've known each other forever, and since he came back, before he came back, and Rassie started in, 2017, we conceded an average of 27 points per match. Since they've come in, we've conceded an average of 11 points per match.
It's a skin teasy on defense, for sure.
On average, 16 points.
Keep it tight. Crazy. I was worried about the way our game plan, when we were at the start of the tenure, we were rushing up and stuff. We still have traces of it. We'll be rushing up, but it seems to have worked out in the long run. You cannot deny that.
It does,
but now teams are scared to dish wide, really.
Exactly.
Always knowing that we must watch the pass. It could be intercept, or you could be getting smoked. One of the two.
So, all in all, in the semi-final, what did you think? Do you think that we are in a solid place coming out of that? Are we going into the final with confidence in our game plan? Will we be able to commit England to that kind of game plan? Do you think that they're going to have something special for us?
I think that the only thing I worry about is that England are a far better attacking team, and they've got so many more weapons, and they're a lot better than Wales for me, hands down, just across the board. They've got vicious. They loose trio is a total joke. This guy's Curry is mother effort, mother final. That's what I was gonna say. He's mother final good, and that's where he's at. Gotta believe that Curry's so good. Underhill is so good. And then Vunipola, of course. And then you've got Itojes and stuff. And then in the back line, Farrell's starting to remind me of he plays it very similar to Larkham, the way he's putting guys into space these days. And he's doing it so consistently now.
And George Ford at 10.
And then the two kicking options. And then, of course, you've got South Africa, Mani Samoa Tuilangi. I mean,
you can't help but get excited about him. It's not going to be exciting when
Johnny May on the wing.
Yeah. Quick recap of the other semi-final. England came for New Zealand. They sought blood. They received blood. It was, in essence, whammy, 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 whammy.
Couldn't watch that one, unfortunately, as I was at a wedding.
Man, was at his brother's wedding.
Peace.
Yeah,
great wedding.
Missed out on a pretty good match, guys. It was pretty sweet, that match.
It was a good wedding, yeah.
It was, I have no doubt. No doubt, man.
It's family stuff, yeah. Jam, man.
But Tuolangi scored like the first 5 minutes, first 10 minutes anyway. England caught New Zealand on their heels. They looked like an average Super Rugby side playing against the Crusaders, essentially. They're just getting blasted from the kickoffs, mistakes, tried the short kickoffs, trying to kick for touch, forcing things, trying to go along the edges, every single move. You thought from halftime they're going to come back, and everybody says New Zealand play better in the second half. There was none of that. England continued. They just destroyed them. It was a wonder to behold. But then, of course, towards the end of it, after all the excitement started subsiding and you start thinking 2 steps ahead, of course, I'd already written South Africa into the final, and I was 100% correct on that. And thinking about what England were going to do to us, South Africa were going to make it to the final. My other call
Where was that said?
Definitely said it somewhere. Definitely said it somewhere. If not,
we're just gonna allow things to be thrown out here. I'm just asking me.
If not, it was spoken quietly in my heart.
Okay, you're in the heart now.
No. I said that. I also said that New Zealand were going to make the final, and
it's all right, man.
They didn't make it.
I'm just wondering. We just, for the sake of the public, we're not just throwing stuff at you.
On a side, just to digress, I do think South Africa and New Zealand would have been a better final.
Definitely. That's the final everybody wanted.
Yeah,
for sure.
They would have forced our pace. And England forced their pace, which was strange, after New Zealand forced Ireland's pace to such a crazy extent.
I think it would be the most satisfying final to win.
Yeah, exactly,
Beating New Zealand in the World Cup final is like a dream. Because it's only happened like in 95 and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I was like freaking like 10 and it was tight. But you couldn't, like now I'd be able to appreciate it so much more.
Yeah.
Like even in 2007, if we played New Zealand in that final, that would have been an awesome final because our team was tight.
I was looking forward to that final so much that year. And that forward pass robbed us all of something quite glorious. Maybe one day we'll meet again, and maybe it'll be when we have the World Cup again, which is not going to be next World Cup. It's not going to be the World Cup after that because we've committed to not bidding for that World Cup.
The World Cup host. I thought you were talking about when we have the Cup.
Oh, that's coming soon, man. Less than 7 days.
I just want to put out that my prophecy is still on the way to coming true. A fit Andre Pollard will take us to the World Cup. Oh. And last time I checked, he's still fit.
And he keeps checking, it seems. Keep checking. Do you call people?
Huh?
Do you call people?
I've got inside info, man.
You got inside info?
Don't worry about it, thing. Because we can do this.
Deeply worried. Okay, what are we doing?
Cup.
All right, then I'm on board.
Grand finale.
I want to talk about the high ball situation because...
High ball?
Oh, man.
Sorry. It's a bit of a high ball thing, really, because what's going on with the high ball?
Well, it's going to be going on.
Kind of scandalous.
It's going to be coming from both sides because England aren't going to accept us kicking them into the corners.
But do you not think they might just double bluff? I was actually thinking about that earlier on when I was at work. Like, that they could... Like, everything is so set up, the mind games and stuff, and everybody's expecting the kind of same game that, like, we played against Wales, England to play the same thing. That stuff is definitely filtering through to, like, Eddie's got ears everywhere. He hears stuff. So maybe he might just come up with, he's clever like that, though. He could just come up with something else, like, we're just going to be running it because everyone's going to be expecting this.
Yeah, exactly.
All of a sudden, instead of like box kicks, he picks up whatever youngs and like does grubbers through and guys, some sort of something different.
Well, I mean, what they did against New Zealand was savage running play, ball in hand, smashing them.
You see, so do we think that like kind of like how the Sharks, how we've often criticized the Sharks of dragging teams into like surf rugby? Like recently, not all the time. Like Plumbers, you were tight, dog.
Yeah,
but after that, like Vitti, me.
Might be back next year, Sharks. Anyway,
Champ. What was I saying now?
They might play quickly.
Oh yeah. So what I was saying is that, do you think that, because for me, what you're saying about that game is that England was smashing them and they were playing running rugby. So do you think like how the Sharks used to drag teams into playing surf rugby, that's what we're going to do to create that kind of atmosphere? And then once it's happening, England are going to be like, like in a wet game when it's clear what's happening. It doesn't matter which side, both sides are doing the same thing and just trying to advance at each other.
Yeah, I believe we can, because I think that we'll give them the ball and offer them the opportunity to counter-attack. It's going to be Watson and May, Elliot Daly.
And then we're going to just try
press them. And then it's too risky for them to run it from the back. They don't have that kind of attacking talent. Elliot Daly is not a counter-attacking whiz kid. Of course, he's a very good player, but he's not going to back himself to run that much. Johnny May is not a dynamic open field runner. He's not going to be running. Anthony Watson is a massive problem right now. Nobody can tackle them on the first time, it seems.
Yeah.
But I think that they're going to kick it back and back their forwards just against our forwards. Like, we've got the most line-out steals. They've got the most ground steals by a long way between Curry, Underhill, and the rest.
I think, that's an interesting point that you say that, because I feel like we struggle a lot when teams steal a lot of ball from us.
Yeah.
Like in the past, it's something that I have noticed. Like when teams steal ball and they break our momentum, like we struggle. Yeah. I guess any team in the world struggles when that happens at the same time. But like I feel like it, like, like a team like New Zealand, for instance, you might steal their ball, but then they'll get it back and then they'll use it. But for us, we thrive on momentum. So like once you break the momentum by stealing the ball, it's like, okay, now we have to start again with a set piece. And then like build from there. Like we're not just like off the cuff. Like we are a lot more like that, but that's not our natural style,
It is worrying, but if we play according to the game plan, we'll never go over 3 phases. 1, 2, 3, quash. Philly's not playing that well right now. Damien stepped up to the plate in a massive way. Thank God, Damien. All you people that said Damien is a bad player, where are you now? Damien is tearing it up. Damien de Allen is the truth. And hopefully he can prove it again.
The truth.
He is, mate. Damien de Allende, when he hit the scene, he was a killer. If he can start playing with the ball in 2 hands again, using his physical attributes to his advantage.
I think he can still play so much better. He's playing very well. But I think with his ability, like what we were talking about earlier on, like when that one moment where he got the ball, he did a step, and then like pass over the top. Like he needs to do more of that stuff. But, that's for next season and stuff. Just carry on doing what you're doing and bring this cup home. Then you can call me. We can speak about that.
I want this to be the ugliest game that has ever been. If it rains, it might not actually be that good for us. England play very well in the rain. They might just have more composure in the rain than we do. But regardless, if it gets expensive, we might be in trouble. But we do need to create some situations to take advantage of Cheslin Colby. Cheslin is back. He's back on the wing. Sabu played very well, outstandingly well, but Cheslin is a unique attacking talent, and that might be
arguably our player of the cup.
And our only source of tries, really, if we're going to play according to this kick and chase plan, he's going to have to be chasing kicks, by the way, quite often.
And he makes stuff happen out of nothing. We really need that, because there was none of that on Saturday. None of that.
I'm really worried about how good England were looking. Their structure was intense. They had waves of guys coming, multiple phases.
What I've seen of them, I think they looked the most prepared team in this tournament.
Yeah, and Eddie's out for it.
Yeah. I don't want that guy to win it.
I know,
Eddie.
It falls upon us. It is our responsibility to stop this man from winning the cup. The man that helped us win the cup, of course. Thanks a lot, Eddie, for those good days. But it's our time to shine. I wanted to talk about 2 different matchups. Mario Itoje against Eben Etzebeth. But then I thought, is it against Eben or is it against Loete Jager, who has possibly been the better performing lock out of the 2 at this World Cup, coming out of a time when I thought that he was coasting as a Springbok maybe 2 years ago. And he's cut so much weight, he's now the captain of the Bulls and he's playing at a high level. But in all honesty, the eyes of the world will be saying Itoje against Eben Etzebeth, and maybe that's right. But Itoje, he is knocking on the door of Brody Retallick right now for how well he's playing.
Brody right now.
Wow.
I'd have to say, best like right now, in terms of like this season, Brody's had come back from a broken arm. He's not playing at the same high level that he's been playing at for the past season. So Itoje continues to soldier on and do everything, make tackles, steal balls.
Yeah.
So this season, for me, I love Brody Retallick, and in terms of like if I'm choosing my kind of team, I'm probably going with a Brody kind of player because he's got open play, he's terrific, something that Itoje doesn't have, unfortunately. Yeah. But out of how Itoje's been playing and the fact that Brody's been injured, I think he hasn't come back, he hasn't been in the groove to be as tight as he possibly could be.
Yeah.
And I think based on that, for me, I think Itoje right now is the better player.
Mauro Itoje. Yeah, you have to say so.
Animal, that guy, bro.
I mean, the guy's put in the numbers.
True animal, bro.
He's just that good.
He does everything except the open play. That's his only thing. I was saying to someone that he's like a classic lock, like the classic old school lock, but like just slightly more mobile, you know? He's not like interested, like very much like Bucky. He's not interested in like the other stuff. He just does like the core stuff really well, and it like makes such a difference.
He
like,
dominates.
You know, like when guys are in starting mauls, the way he crawls over and like starts grabbing folk.
God.
I'm like, dude.
He's a problem. Jeez.
Like he's just, and then like he'll be there making hits like.
Yeah.
Oh man, he'd be an awesome guy to have in your team, bro.
He would be amazing.
Awesome. Never
misses. So obviously you're taking him over Irvin then if you're taking him over Brodie Retallick.
Oh yeah, definitely.
There you go, folks. Patriot over there.
It's not.
So, hey, no need to explain.
This is. I'm asking a question. Eh?
Yeah, no.
I don't lie in court and stuff. Not that I've been to court. Just put that out there. No fucking I've been in court.
Itoje might be the best right now. Okay, the other one is going to be Handré Pollard and assumedly.
Just sorry, before we go there, what's going to be interesting because Itoje plays generally the whole game. So we generally like to sub our locks because we've got so many ill locks in this country. Of course, like even if two of these guys were twins, we'd bring other guys and it would still be alright.
Still be some of the best in the world.
So when Irvin is gonna hit Itoje up, they're gonna wrestle, do that thing. Irvin hasn't been in a fight in a while.
It's a good thing.
I'm gonna put that out there.
It's a good thing.
So he's gonna be getting the mix there, and then we've got RWC to come on, which is like. So it's going to be interesting, that dynamic. Because Itoje is going to be dealing with two different kind of sabs.
Yeah. And
of completely different vibes. So when he could be tired at the end, which he doesn't really get. But if he's just lacking that slight yard, RG through the gap, dishwork.
RWC is the one for us.
Yeah.
And they're going to be trying to get Irvin to get a yellow card or red card for doing that stuff. And Dwayne, there's going to be a lot of head rubbing and woohoos all the time. But let's see if our guys can handle it. We seem quite level-headed. And I think we're going into this one looking pretty good. Okay, so George Ford, assumedly, unless they play Owen Farrell there again, move Manu Samoa in. I don't see why they would do that, unless they think Owen Farrell can tackle Damien better. Because what Damien was doing to Dan Biggar may never forget. Believe that. George Ford or Handré Pollard? Who do you think's the better player?
I mean, really?
There you go, George Ford. No, Handré Pollard is, hands down for me.
It's not even a contest. When do you see George Ford running into the line and taking multiple players on?
Yes, he did amazing work for Handré when he injected himself.
Has no fear. He runs into the line. He can kick. He's got a complete game. He's like one of the finest flowers going around.
Yeah, nice.
Like, I mean, that's not a contest. That's a joke. I think George Ford is pretty good, but I would judge it on the basis, once again, my general barometer. If George Ford were to come and play Super Rugby,
George Ford,
I think he would be, guys would lick their lips for him.
Yeah.
But Handré takes the hits and he still cuts lines when required.
I wonder what team he could throw. He could play very well with Crusaders, George Ford.
And I think, exactly, a team like that.
Yeah.
But like he doesn't hit the line, he's a distributor. Like.
If he was at Stormers,
but if you're comparing like Owen Farrell and Handré Pollard, that's a different story.
If Owen plays 10.
Yeah, but...
If Owen plays 12, it'll be him against Damien.
Yeah.
But that's one for you to think about at home. All right, so prediction. What do you think is going to be scoreline? Not going over 20. What do you think we're going to go over 20? If you go over 20, there's a good chance we're losing.
Don't cloud on the one in the I'm thinking like a 12-7 kind of game.
Sounds reasonable.
But like our 12 is pens.
Yeah. Oh, so the 12 is for us.
Yeah.
Good, thank you.
I mean, the champ. What do you mean?
So they score a try.
Sit here like as if we're playing a team that just kills us every time.
Yeah.
Like this is a 50-50 match. This.
Yeah. All right. So 12-7.
Something like that. Yeah.
All right.
Something to that effect.
Handré Pollard nailing all of them, or drop goal in there from front stand coming off the bench.
It's just probably straight pins. I hope we score a try.
Yeah. Front stain for Vililaroo.
No, let me go for 16-9.
16-9.
Yeah. There's going to be 3 druk in there.
So we're going to score and they're not going to score then?
Yeah.
That's nice. I like
defense,
that.
hardcore, man.
Yeah.
Hardcore.
So is this as well.
Yeah, but...
We'll see how the chips may fall.
That's padding, by the way.
I go for 13-18. Kick 4 penalties.
You ding, Ale. I think we'll find that one,
4 penalties, 2 drop goals.
That's a good watch, that.
Yeah.
4 penalties, 2 drop goals.
Chesson will get close in the corner.
You know what? I think I could see extra time in this as well.
I could see it as well. Yeah.
I could see extra time, like being locked at like 12 all or something with like 4 penalties each.
Yeah. It's a very exciting time because we're going for the Webb Ellis Trophy once again. This is our 3rd final, and if you check the records, check the evidence, the last 2 times we've been to the final, we've walked home with the golden lubricator, so to speak. So, big up to the Boks. We're going all the way again.
Big up the men,
Let's hope this tries in the final. We're going to win, man.
45-40.
45-40, there you go.
That would be a cracker.